Hi, good day everyone. This is Desmond O'Neill here with O'Neill Photography, and we have a very interesting tutorial for you today. And what we are going to be doing is, it is a little bit advanced, but anybody can do it. It is called sharpening a photo. Now, what is sharpening a photo? Sometimes and you take a photo, and the image, when you look at it in the camera, because of the small viewing area and so on, it looks sharp, it looks good. But especially if you're doing portrait photography, or nature photography, landscape photography, or even especially wedding photography, it comes in really, really handy what we are going to do here, because these types of photos require uh, the sharpest type of imagery. All right, and when you carry the image now over into your photo editing, your photo processing software, what you find is that the image is a little soft. It's not underexposed or overexposed. The exposure is fine, but it's a little soft in that the details aren't sharp and pinpoint sharp. Now, there can be a number of reasons for this. The reason could be that there was a slight bit of camera shake. Your camera didn't have what the newer Sony cameras have, which is called in-body image stabilization, or IBIS, which helps to stabilize the photo. Maybe you didn't allow the camera to settle, or you probably could have used a slow shutter speed. Any one of those things could have happened. But be that as it may, we can't go back and capture the moment anymore. So the best we can do is to go into our photo editing software and get it sharp as possible. All right. So we are going to do all of that today in Gimp right after this. And welcome back. So we are going to do this in Gimp. So I have my folder which I am going to be using here. I have my raw photos, and I am going to choose this one right here. I am going to open it in raw therapy first, and you will see exactly what I am talking about. The image is going to be great. It is going to look fabulous. We were salivating at the prospect. We showed it to the camera, to the client, and when the client saw the photo, they said, wow, that's really, really good. But when you took it to your photo editing software, now you recognize, like this one here, it's a little soft. Are we seeing that? I don't know if you're seeing it. Let me enlarge a little bit. Right? It's a great photo. It has tremendous amount of coloration here and all that, but it's just a little soft. So I am going to be editing this over into Gimp. So all I do, I click here, and it's going to ask me, do I want to use Gimp? I says yes, and the Gimp program is going to come up in just a little bit. Let's give it some time while raw therapy packages the photo and sends it over to Gimp. All right. Let's see. Somebody sent something. Okay, reacting to a photo of mine. Okay, so Gimp has received it, and Gimp is now opening up. It asking me if I want to convert to the image to built-in sRGB profile. Sure, why not? Let's do that. And we have opened the photo here in Gimp. Right, so the photo is quite a large one. It's a raw photo, and when I say raw, it is the image format that allows a lot of information to be displayed. So by that, it is not a compressed image like what you would have in a JPEG file that is commonly shared on the internet. JPEG files are normally very, very small, but if you notice down at the bottom here, all right, this photo, it's a TIFF All right, so it's in a raw format, and it is large. It is 563 megabytes. All right, which is yeah, it has some size. So I am going to enlarge this photo by pressing the plus sign on my keyboard. All right, and it has enlarged the photo for me, so I can see a little bit. Okay, and you can see it there too. It's a nice photo. It has great coloration. It has a good amount of separation between the lights and darks. So in other words, the contrast is on, but it is just a little soft. So we are going to be editing this, and this is for beginners. Maybe you yourself, you took some photos for somebody's birthday party, and you recognize that the photos were great in the camera, but when you brought it over to your favorite photo editing software, it was a little soft, and you want to know what to do. Well, it is a simple fix. So the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to duplicate the image. You would have recognized that in all of my tutorials I always advocate duplicating the image, because it allows you to do what is called non-destructive photo editing. Non-destructive in the sense that I will always remain with the original image. All I did, I duplicated it, so I am going to be doing all of my editing on the duplicated side. So if I make any mistakes, if anything, I can, now you can go back. Gimp allows you to go back, but just in case and you say, oh, I made a mess of this, I want to start over, you can actually start over using your original image. All right, so we have this photo here of a beautiful young lady. All right, she has posed quite well with a nice headband and all of that, but the image is quite soft. How do we fix that? It's easy. So if you notice, as I said, I pressed the plus sign on my keyboard to enlarge the image so that I can have a better look at it. I can go up a little bit more, so you can see, but I want to come out just a tad. Right there, that's good. So you can see the majority of the entire image. We want to make sure that the main part of the photo is quite sharp. So in Gimp, which is what I am using, and this tutorial is about using the features within Gimp, and we are going to sharpen a soft photo. Now it is not that soft, so we can go into filters, and into filters, you would notice that there are a whole lot of others here. We have blur, we have enhance, distort, light and shadow. We can fix the noise, we can edge detect, we can combine artistic and all of that. But we're going to go into enhance. And in the enhance tab, there are a whole number of things that we have there. So the de-interlace, noise reduction, red eye removal, but we are going to go into sharpen, and we click that. Great. So now that you have clicked sharpen, you notice that there are basically two parameters that we have here. One is the radius, and the radius now is how much of the photo do we want sharpened, how much of the area. If it's just a small area, you can leave the radius where it is. If it is a large area, you can increase the radius a little bit, and the amount has to do with how much you want to sharpen. So what I usually do, it is best to sharpen the image in increments. What I mean by that is that you do little by little. Don't do a whole lot and then the image looks real weird. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to do a whole lot. I'm going to go really, really wide up here, and I'm going to put the amount quite up here. All right. And then this is what it looks like. Ew. It doesn't look too good. It brought in too much, all right, of of detail, and now our model looks like, you know, she has a little pineapple situation going on. So we don't want that. So what we want to do now, we want to cancel. So it brings us back to the original image, and you notice that because your eyes were accustomed seeing that sharpened image, you notice that you now would recognize how soft the image is. So we're gonna go back to filters, and we're gonna go into enhance. Then we're gonna go to over to sharpen. All right, and we are going to use my recommended way of sharpening this photo, which is little increments at a time. So we're gonna do a little bit by this, increasing the radius just a little bit. All right, and we're gonna increase the amount just a little bit, just a tad underneath, and then we're gonna click OK. All right, now the image was sharpened a little bit, but we're gonna do some more. So we're gonna go back over into filters, into enhance. We're gonna go to sharpen, and we're gonna do the same thing over again. All right, and we go up a little bit, and we're gonna go in the amount section a little bit. Now you can also click here as well, but I like to use the mouse, and then we click OK. Right, so the image has been sharpened a little bit. Right, I'm going to press plus so you can see it there. Right, great. And I am going to show you the difference now, right, between this image, and I am going to show you before. See how soft it is, and I am going to show you after. There we go. Here it is before, quite soft, and here it is after. With more details, you can see the coloration in the eyes are out a little bit. All right, and although it looks like that, remember we have enlarged the image, right? Usually when we are doing close-up editing, I can enlarge here, we can go in and deal with some fine details. All right, we can deal with some fine details, like some of these little pimples that you can see underneath the makeup. We can adjust that, but that is for another tutorial. But this really and truly is just us bringing it under the microscope and fixing the very minute details. The average eye will not see, will not notice how sharp this image is. We can look at before, whoo, soft, and let's look at after. Okay, plenty more detail and everything like that. And we're gonna come out a little bit by pressing minus on our keyboard. All right, and we are great. So there we have it, an image that was soft in our original take. The image was soft. Maybe we did not dial in the correct shutter speed. Maybe something happened, our hand shook, something like that. Maybe we did not use one of those clickers so that we can trigger the shutter automatically, and all of that. All of that is possible, but the fact is we were able to solve the issue of a soft photo right here in Gimp. And I telling you, this free software is very, very powerful. It is what I use for my image processing, and I want to encourage you to hop on board the Gimp bandwagon and start fiddling around and learning to use this very versatile and powerful program. If you find that this video was helpful, please like and subscribe, and I would encourage you to share it with your buddies, share it with your friends, share it with grandma, share it with auntie, so that they too can learn to do professional editing right at home with free software that is available. All right, so for now, this is Desmond O'Neill, and I thank you for joining in. Let's hope that you come back again for another interesting tutorial, and bye for now.